Kamala Harris and the Democratic plantation is paying you celebrities, paying you to shame black people into voting. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of the vote, but they being paid. Y'all being bought. They offer me $10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. I don't want your money, but we can definitely do the interview. They offer me $10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. Yes, we can do the interview. Keep your money. King Kong consciousness ain't for sale. I'm one of the real ones. Silverback Garvey Gorilla. I'm one of the real ones. Silverback Garvey Gorilla. Don't come to me with no propositions for money. I don't live for no money. I'm not one of these goofy rappers whose whole life is nothing but what you can buy and own. You dealing with real African DNA. This is real ancestral energy over here. I'm not no Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey. You don't drop no check off and say, get the Negroes to the plantation on November the 4th. You don't drop no check off and say, get the Negroes to the plantation.
All right, y'all, we are back with another video. And before we start, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. Now, let's get straight to this because it seems like Kamala Harris, she's in her bag right now. She's trying to cheat the election. Now she got people playing like they Republicans and they ditching Trump and voting for her all of a sudden. That's the reason why she haven't been doing any interviews. She's been running from the press. She's been manipulating headlines, trying to deceive voters into voting for her. Now she got fake people coming out trying to say they was Republicans. And now they are voting for her instead of Donald Trump. You can't make this stuff up. This right here is just unbelievable of them trying to cheat the election because they can't beat Donald Trump fair and square. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Make sure y'all please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And let's get to this video so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So frickin' fake. Fake, fake, fake. That's the one word you see popping up over and over again. This Kamala campaign is 100% frickin' Hollywood. Nothing about it is real. I mean, for Pete's sakes, at this point, I'm starting to question if Kamala herself is real. I know, a crazy train of thought, but the point is, it's gotten so ridiculous at this point that I wouldn't put it past them. You know, they probably would use AI to clone their politicians if they could. And there's even some allegations that they did with Joe Biden. I'm not going to go that far yet, but the point is, I just wouldn't be surprised because it's all gotten so freaking ridiculous and so clearly theatrical. Well, this week we continue with the theater. Initially it was white women for Harris, then it was white men for Harris, then I think it was black men for Harris, I don't know. But anyways, this week, Kamala Harris and her Democrat controllers are taking it to a whole other level. This week, the big, highly publicized Zoom call was #Republicans for Harris. And of course, as per usual, it's the most cringe-inducing fake nonsense I've ever seen, and it's already getting exposed as, again, a total theatrical performance. Let's have a conversation about it. We got some stuff to get into, let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so a couple weeks ago, the Kamala Harris campaign opened up an account on Twitter called Republicans for Harris. Now, I'm not 100% sure that it's the Kamala Harris campaign who started the account, but come on, who else? Anyways, that account pops up, and then all of a sudden, all kinds of testimonies start to drop. Initially, one of the most viral clips was this one.
I'm a 56-year-old, white, gun-owning country boy. And if Kamala Harris thinks she can get my vote, well, she'd be right. Because I'm also a grandfather. We failed to leave my kids' generation a better world. And now I worry not just about the kind of world we'll leave my grandkids, but what kind of country will we leave them?
Wow.
That other guy, I'm also a veteran from a long line of veterans. And he's just not safe. So yeah, I'll be voting for Kamala Harris because she wants to move us forward.
And all of a sudden the trend began. Then it's clip after clip after clip after clip. All kinds of Republicans supposedly coming out publicly to support Kamala Harris. Except I'm starting to see a little bit of a problem here. Problem number one, yeah, this guy is not a Republican. This individual is a man by the name of Vic Meers, who in 2014 was a Democratic candidate who sought election to the U.S. House of Representatives to represent the 4th Congressional District of Colorado. Womp womp womp. You see what I mean by frickin' Hollywood? This is what the Democrats do. You want to appeal to black voters? Get Megan Thee Stallion to gyrate her bottom, and you locked in the black vote. You want to get Republicans to vote for you, huh, Kamala? Well, just get an old doucher and slap a cowboy hat on and call it a frickin' day. It's also frickin' fake. The whole trend is fake. But now, of course, Democrats are trying to inundate us with this hashtag Republican for Harris.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're the future. We can't look back.
I did not come to poison our country, the blood of our country.
An election is a choice, and in this election, there is no choice.
Keep the label of Republican, but vote to defend this democracy.
You have to publicly out yourself. I am a Republican, I'm a conservative, and I'm supporting Kamala Harris. It takes courage.
And we're supposed to sit here and seriously believe that, first of all, this is a significant trend, but secondly, that these people are actually Republicans. Adam Kinzinger and Joe Walsh. That's the best they freaking got. They're basically taking total Democrat shills, I mean Democrat operatives, and they're pretending that they're Republicans. I mean, what an absolute farce. This is the best that they can do. Adam frickin' Kinzinger.
Biggest groups of, a different party for a party for somebody like, Kamala Harris that I've seen. There's a lot of momentum behind this. And as you know, Wolf, I mean, the Republican Party has basically left a significant amount of people that identify as Republicans by changing its views on everything, including Ukraine, which is a very important issue, including the strength of our democracy. So I think it's going to be a pretty big event, to be honest with you.
So what, if anything, are Republicans, especially those in key battleground states, risking by going against their own party's nominee for president?
Well, look, I mean, you go against in the Republican Party. Let's just be honest; it's become a cult where you can't have a difference of opinion. I mean, the only thing you're required to do in the GOP. It's easy, and it's also like, crazy, which is just pledge basically total allegiance to Donald Trump and whatever his views of the day are or his whims of the day are. So
they're putting this guy on a media tour.
This right here just don't make no sense. Y'all notice a lot of this stuff didn't happen until they just threw Kamala Harris up in the mix. All of a sudden now, people acting like they Republicans and they are now voting for Kamala Harris, like they trying to get everybody to follow the trend. They are liars. You just seen this other guy with the cowboy hat on, Vic Meers, acting like he's a Republican, talking about he's a gun owner, when Kamala Harris is the one that's trying to ban guns. She's the same one that's trying to defund the police, but he gonna say, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. That lets you know he was never a Republican. The man is a Democrat. We just seen his profile, and he's sitting up there blatantly lying. And they create this fake page, Republicans for Kamala. I mean, this right here, and I'm telling y'all now, this is the reason why she haven't been on any interview. She thinks she can win the election by manipulating people. And you seen at the beginning of the video where she offered Dr. Umar $10,000 for an interview. So and then he exposed that she paid Ricky Smiley. She's paying Steve Harvey. She paying all of these people for interviews and for them to endorse her, to try to make all their fans endorse her, like vote for her. That's exactly what she's trying to do. She's paying people money for support in order to try to beat Donald Trump. This right here is ridiculous. Now you got these people playing like they Republicans and saying that they are voting for Kamala Harris when they know for a fact they are not Republicans, knowing they are Democrats. So they're going to play this little game to try to get everybody on their side. Oh, you're a Republican, you voting for Kamala, you don't like Trump that bad? This is the same woman who trying to let criminals out of prisons, who did horrible things to people. She's trying to ban guns. She's trying to defund the police. She's leaving the border open so illegal immigrants can come through. She's giving them money for being here. Look at all the stuff this woman is doing, and you telling me you're voting for that? It just don't make any sense at all. This woman is literally paying people to endorse her. She's paying people. You see, we just exposed her yesterday for changing the headlines on Google to make it seem like all the networks are behind her. I mean, come on. Donald Trump been taking interviews, answering the hard questions. What questions have Kamala Harris answered? She only talked at her rally because ain't nobody challenging her on what she's saying.
It's going to make a significant change. I'm not buying the narrative web that they're trying to spin here, that people are ditching Trump and Democrats are surging. I mean, just look at all the voter registration data that's been dropping lately. Take a look at the chart. The color coding pretty much tells you all that you need to know. Yep. Voter registration in Pennsylvania alone is 4 times higher among Republicans than it is Democrats, and Democrat voter registration as a whole has decreased by over 300,000 since the 2020 election. Republicans overcame a voter registration deficit of nearly 600,000, meaning there were 600,000 more registered Democrats than there were Republicans in the state of Florida roughly 10 years ago. Well, now Republicans outnumber Democrats by hundreds of thousands in the state. But I'm seeing headlines that Kamala Harris is now within striking distance in Florida and is likely to flip the state blue. You know, where is this stuff coming from? It feels like a made-up narrative that Republicans are ditching. You don't see it happening in the polling data, but for some reason it's this big trend. It's not a freaking trend.
Just lying.
It's political maneuvering. And we're already starting to see the usual hints. I mean, just follow the organization. Here's one individual by the name of David Hale. He writes that he's a Republican, a conservative who wants to vote for Kamala Harris to save the nation. Here's another one, Kyle Sweetster, who writes, I'm a Republican, a landowner, a gun owner, I hunt, I fish. I'm a 2 times Trump voter. I'm a Haley voter. I believe in America, our Constitution, and the rule of law. I'm voting for Kamala Harris this November.
See, that lets you know right there they making up names, making up pictures, and making it seem like they are Republicans to try to trick the people. The same woman, like I said before, trying to get rid of your guns, trying to take your guns. And then this guy say he's a landowner, he's a gun owner, and he's a 2-time Trump voter. All this stuff is just made up to try to make it seem like Republicans are turning on Trump. And this right here is all Kamala Harris is doing. Trying to manipulate the people, pandering to black people, depending on what crowd she's in front of. Now she's paying actress. She's paying Ricky Smiley, comedians. She's paying Steve Harvey. She's paying all of these people to go after black people that won't vote for her. That's what she's doing now. That's why you've been seeing Ricky Smiley coming out trying to blast black people because they saying they ain't voting for Kamala Harris. For one, she ain't black. She trying to act black just so she can get our vote. The woman is Indian. And we seen with Dr. Umar, he showed the text message of Kamala Harris's campaign offering him $10,000 for an interview, the same way she tried to pay the big streamer Casanat to come on his stream. And when he blasted her, then she tried to go back and say, we never talked to Casanat. We never tried to get an interview. See, that's what happens. When you turn them down, they try to say they never reached out to you. This woman is a fraud. The woman had 3.5 years. All the stuff she's saying she can do now, why haven't she done it? She can still do that stuff now. She can close the border now. She can bring prices on food down now. She ain't doing it. You know what she's doing? Oh, you going to vote for me, and then I'll take food prices down. When she had 3.5 years. And I don't see how people want to vote for Kamala Harris for what? Her and Joe Biden is 2 peas in a pot. Just because y'all, they done pushed Joe Biden out and got Kamala, that's still the same thing. It's no difference. What is the difference of her now, I guess, being the nominee? What's the difference between her and Joe Biden? She sat under him for the longest, pushing all of the crap that they was pushing. She's part of the reason why we in the situation we in now. I just don't get it.
Hashtag reps for Harris. He believes in the Constitution and the rule of law. He hunts, he's a gun owner and a landowner, but he thinks you should vote for Kamala Harris. You know, make it make sense. It's so freaking stupid, but then again, you know, it obviously makes no sense, but then you look a little bit deeper and you see on their profiles that they're both affiliated with the hashtag Reagan caucus.
Look, concerned Republican.
Look here. Look at this. Money going from the Reagan caucus straight to Kyle Sweetster. In other words, he's being paid to tweet in support.
Now, y'all see that right there? I told y'all before that Kamala Harris and her campaign are paying people You know what I'm saying? To endorse her, to say good things about her. Look at this. Look at the money. $25, $250, another $250, and another $250. She's paying people to say good things about her and her campaign. She's saying good things just so people can endorse her and diss Trump. So what she's doing, she's paying people money to turn their back on Trump to vote for her. I mean, come on. What else do you need to see? She's paying people.
Support of Kamala Harris. You know, there's funny headlines like this that claim the Reagan caucus, apparently they want to reclaim the Republican Party by voting in a literal communist into power. It's unbelievable, and in fact, it's literally not believable. It all follows the same trend. Paulette Management, the Lincoln Project, Act Blue, now the Reagan caucus. There's always these political organizations giving these people money to shill for Kamala Harris. And we know that there's now $300 million bouncing around. For this exact purpose, we've seen all the emails, streamers, and online content creators leaking emails that they're getting from the Kamala Harris campaign, offering them straight up cash to promote content that's, quote, anti-Trump. It's all...
Did you see that? Paying them cash to go anti-Trump, to say bad things about Donald Trump, to say he's this, he's that, he's not good for the economy. Then you had this fake Vic Meers guy with the cowboy hat on early in the video, sitting up there line when he know he's a Democrat, but he acting like he's a Republican. I mean, it just done got out of hand now. And like I said before, now we see the reason why she haven't been doing any interviews, because this is what she's doing behind the scenes. This is exactly what she's doing. Paying people for their support, paying people to say bad things about Trump and good things about her. That's what she's doing.
Deception. These people aren't actually Republicans. A lot of these people aren't Kamala Harris voters. They're not even political people. They're straight up just being paid in a widespread paid shill propaganda campaign. Everything is just so utterly dishonest. And just to add on top of the dishonesty, by the way, there's also another Kamala scandal that's brewing, as the New York Post reports that Harris's team is apparently now editing news headlines in her favor without the outlet's knowledge. Essentially, the Kamala Harris campaign is now being accused of editing news headlines to rewrite them in a positive framing for Kamala Harris, and then they're promoting these fake headlines as paid Google ads. I mean, just take a look. Paid for by Harris for President. Presidential campaign. It's right there written on the ad. And they're doing this without the express permission and consent of the organizations. Now, I don't think the organizations are going to mind too much, considering it's The Guardian, The Independent, and NPR. They'll probably retroactively agree, but again, it's just to show the utter dishonesty. It's all smoke and mirrors, it's all Hollywood. They want to distract you with the shiny object while they actively work against your interests behind the scenes. And if you need proof that they're working against your interest, just look at the last 4 years. Has your life gotten better? Probably not. Certainly not for most people. At least in terms of economics and community. Well, who's been in charge for the last 3 years? There you go. It's that freaking simple. No real Republican is supporting Kamala Harris. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got.
Well, there you go. Right there. Salute to Liberal High Mind. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. Great content creator. But as y'all can see, she's manipulating headlines, changing the headline, just straight trying to cheat the election, paying people to say good things about her and bad things about Trump. Now they got this fake page, Republicans for Kamala, trying to make it seem like people who are Republicans are now voting for her. I mean, they are trying everything in the book as it get closer and closer to the election. We're going to keep an eye on all of this stuff because we see the cheating. We see what they're trying to do. We see the reason why she haven't been doing any interviews. She's been dodging reporters. Now we know why, and we see why. So like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.